Welcome to Pine Thicket Philosophies, the non-podcast podcast where we do everything the podcast experts tell you not to do. If you are looking for a finely polished and professional podcast crew, well folks, we ain't it. But if you want to virtually join a group of old outdoorsmen from southern Appalachia, as we sit around the fire and talk about any one of our favorite topics, we'll pour a cup of coffee, pull up a chair, and enjoy.
That works for me.
All right. So I guess this would be our first episode. We're going to try this, see how it works. We are currently at Wanville, or the Jackson County Waterfowl Management Area, doing a little tent camping. See, that's a good thing you can edit.
Truck camping.
Doing a little truck camping. We have a very good fire going. It's a very warm night. It's a beautiful night. Good night to be out. So I guess we'll start with a little introduction. So, Mr. Poe, we'll let you go first.
Alrighty. I am J.R. John Russell Poe, among my many aliases. I'm an old person in the group, 65 years young, still spry enough to go out camping. As long as I can, go from point A to point B under my own power, I will continue to go camping. Camping is an important part of my life, and I'm just all about it. As a matter of fact, about every time that there's been a subject come up is, do you want to go? I'm one of the first ones to text, I'm in. So I am here. Now you, Joshua.
Me? Well, I'm Josh Shelton. I'm probably mid-level age in the group. I love camping. Everything we do, canoeing, whatever. I'm into it all. I'm also, depending on how you know me from work or whatnot, my nickname at work's Boggin. A lot of people, that's all they know me by. But
That's news. Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No.
That's what everybody calls me at work. It's because I wear my own boggin that I made
That you made yourself.
all the time.
Very good.
I don't know really what else to say about myself other than I love camping and all that. Hey, you're just in time, Brad Moore, to introduce yourself.
All right. I am Brad Moore. I live in Pisgah, and with the rest of these, well, I don't live with these goofballs, but I live in the same town as the rest of these goofballs. And we do a lot of camping. We do a lot of, some of us do a lot of biking, a lot of canoeing, kayaking, hiking, truck camping. And we're just going to see if we can do this without melting my camera.
It is a big fire.
The big fire. I'm Larry. I enjoy camping, biking, canoeing, whatever adventures come up. I'll do anything out there. So yeah, I'm the mid-level age, I guess.
You know, it's kind of sad when we look around. I'm the youngest one in the group.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I'm kind of a middle-aged guy. Middle age, that's what I'm going with. So, but yeah, I just hope these younger guys can keep up.
And we can't most of the time.
I think Poe's in the same boat.
Yeah, if it's hiking, I can't keep up.
Let's just keep up, man. Glad to be here.
All right, so that is the introduction to the group. I am messing with other stuff here at the same time. Okay, so that's introduction to the group. So, and this is the quietest the group has ever been, ever.
So the group, but you got to talk about the group.
The group.
How the group came to be.
Okay, all right, JR, you are the, I guess he would be the...
He is the president.
What's the word? Patriarch?
Patriarch.
Patriarch.
The
Yeah.
president of our little group here. So JR, tell us a little bit about how that came to be.
Well,
And we can talk about that, and then we can talk about how each of us got involved.
yeah, I've been, an outdoor person forever because, well, I grew up poor. Even, people around us said, well, them people are poor. But you learn skills, and a lot of them are outdoor skills. And I was camping before I was going to school. My folks went camping, we went camping. We'd go all night, fishings on the Tennessee River and that kind of thing. And then as I got older, I didn't lose my love for it. And after a while, being a school teacher, I had students that loved to do the same kind of thing, and so we started. They was myself and a couple of others started doing an annual canoe trip, and that annual canoe trip kind of, it was a tradition, and so then we started adding people to it. And the next thing you know, we was adding extra adventures. We didn't just go down the same river every time. We would go different places. For instance, we've, took this group has been to the Okefenokee swamps several times, and we've about went everywhere you can go down there in that place. And other places we've hiked. We've hiked on the Pinhoti. Of course, now I've hiked the Bankhead and in various places like that. But we kind of fell in together. You get enough people together and they want to do the same kind of thing, then it becomes a group. And so one of my first canoes was a $50 piece of stuff that I painted to look like a shark, and I wrote "Bite Me" on the side of it, just to be kind of a, if somebody read it, they kind of knew where I stood. So it said, as a shark said "Bite Me," and so this kind of became "Bite Me Expeditions." And then we had other people add to the expedition, which was good. And now we've kind of settled on a team between us four and then another 3 or 4, depending, that add to the group. Usually my son is with us, but he had to do that thing, what do they call it? Work?
Work.
Yeah,
oh,
work.
Yeah.
Work.
Man.
Hate
Yeah,
that word.
Had to do that thing, so he didn't get to come with this one. But I think this is the only trip that we've been on that he ain't been on
In several years.
in a long
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
He's probably thinking about it wherever he is right now.
Yep. Miss you, Glendon.
Yeah, he's probably. I did tell him that that if he wanted to, just drop by and visit and eat with us, because one thing about camping is camping food, and eating has always been.
We could do a whole series of podcasts on
foods that have been prepared
Oh my.
in the middle of nowhere.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that should be included in our
yes.
future cast here.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Is
Definitely.
definitely those experiences.
And if we do videos, we can add the pictures of some of our past meals in from some of our trips.
Absolutely.
And I'll put some of them in right here.
Because some of them have been extraordinary, and a lot of times just a 2-burner Coleman was all we used, to make a complete meal. So
5-star meal.
I heard one gentleman that accompanied us on a trip made the comment that J.R. Poe can cook better on the riverbank than most people can cook in a fully equipped kitchen.
That is true.
And that is the truth. That is the truth. All right, Josh, when did you come along and how did you get started with this bunch?
Well, I don't remember the exact year. It's been quite a few ago. And my brothers, well, my middle brother, Jared, actually was one of the
Original.
4 founders, the original group that started going. Then my oldest brother, he started going. And then finally one year, they conned me into going. And I have missed very few trips since then. Usually the annual river trip, I pretty much made it pretty much every time, except for in the last few years. Then it's just kind of been I wouldn't say it's a downhill spiral, but it's a spiral that you can't get out of, like a whirlpool.
Yeah.
Then I remember the first Okefenokee trip, I wasn't going to be able to go, and because I don't know if I just didn't have a vacation or what. And then just so happened, at that year, the company I worked for had a shutdown. We shut down for I think the whole month. And that opened the door for me to go to the swamp that one year. And shoot, we ain't looked back since.
That'll hook you.
But yeah, I just kind of fell into it because of my brothers. And then it's just, of course, they don't get to go as much because, you know, life happens, work happens, that dreaded word work. So they don't get to go hardly as much. But I go every chance I get. I can't think of nothing else right now.
Okay. All right. So, and I'm Brad, and I started about 12 years ago because it was the summer after my first year of teaching, and this is my 12th year to teach. So I started about 12 years ago, and we went on a river, a local river here, and I didn't even have a canoe at the time. I grew up.
He was an outcast.
Yeah, I grew up kayaking, canoeing, and you know, with the Boy Scouts and all kinds of different things. My parents was carrying us camping when I was 2-3 years old, and so, you know, I grew up in the outdoors, and I'd always wanted to go with Poe and them because I used to work for the Department of Conservation, and Poe and them would come out every summer to our to the shooting range, and he would tell me, "Hey man, we're getting geared up to go on our, you know, our annual trip. You should go with us." And I always wanted to, and I never could get it to work into my schedule. And then I bought a kayak and I went with them, and I couldn't even carry all of my gear. They had to carry some of my gear for me because my kayak was so small. But I got to go with them. Then before the next year, I bought a canoe and haven't looked back. And we've, like they've both said, we've been on journeys from, you know, the Okefenokee. That's always a great trip. The, you know, hiking the Pinhoti. We had a big trip, international trip planned in May of 2020 that got canceled because of that horrible word that we're not going to repeat. But we've had a, you know, we've had a good time, and I always look forward to these trips, even if it's just driving a few miles from the house and sitting in a field on the edge of the woods and sitting by a fire and talking to these guys, which is kind of what we do all the time anyway. So now we're just kind of trying to share it with you guys, I guess. Is that what we're doing?
I think that's it.
That's something like that.
Okay. All right, Larry, what about you?
Well, being the newest member of the group, probably, I would say. Well, is Kim newer than me, or?
I think y'all are about the same.
About the same. So, my experience with the group is Brad said, "Hey, we're going to the swamp here a few months. You want to go?" I was like, "What? We're going to the swamp?" So I went out and bought a canoe and went. Now I'm hooked. Like, I hang out with these guys all the time. It's been crazy. enjoy the outdoors with them, enjoy going on these adventures, the paint rock, the different rivers, the swamp, multiple swamp trips. So yeah, it's been great. It's great to have somebody local to do something with that I enjoy. Really like that. So like Brad said, just coming, we're 6-8 miles the way the crow flies tonight
From home,
where we're from home, but 20 miles away. But we're enjoying the outdoors. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love it.
And we have a couple of more guys that join us on some trips, pretty regular. But I think it needs to be noted that J.R. Poe, who was speaking just a minute ago, he was the ag teacher at all of our high school for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he was all of us here. He was our ag teacher. So that's one reason that he's kind of the president of the group. So, all right, guys, we got about 4 minutes left before we take our 15-minute break.
Well, Larry said something a while ago about.
Actually, take that back. I started this late. This is already at 16 minutes.
Oh,
We've already
man.
been going for 16 minutes.
Are you kidding me?
You know, Larry said something about he bought a canoe just to go on that trip, and it got me thinking about, my first year I borrowed a canoe. Then by the second year I bought a canoe, and now I have 3 canoes at home and 4 kayaks at the house. So I've expanded my boat flotilla.
That's kind of the way
over
I
the
am. Let's see,
years.
2 canoes. I don't even know how many kayaks I have now. 5? 4. So this is kind of interesting. I shot Shannon and Zach a text and just said, hey, we're doing this. And they said, what's the name? And I said, told them what we'd talked about, either Pine Thicket Theories or Pine Thicket Philosophies. Shannon sent back Pine Thicket Think Tank.
Huh.
Oh, that's going to be hard to say.
Yeah.
I love it.
Pine Thicket Think Tank.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I never really thought about how many, but at the present, I have 3 canoes. And then I've got 2 canoes that I turned into a pontoon boat. But I don't have a kayak, and I don't think I will have a kayak anytime soon, because I'm anti-kayak.
He's a kayak hater.
Yeah, I am. I'm. If you ask me what kind of kayak you should buy, I will tell you it's called a canoe.
Well, I can't totally disagree with you because.
I don't know. I mean, I love a canoe.
The only reason I have kayaks now is I bought one for myself, but I didn't like it. But it was smaller than my canoe at the time. But my second canoe purchase was a Old Town Next, which is 13 foot long. You sit in it like a kayak, you paddle it like a kayak. So you've got the best of both worlds. You got the maneuverability and the agility of a kayak, but you have the capacity of a smaller canoe to haul your gear.
Well, that's true, but with a canoe, you can haul a lot of gear.
We look
Especially if it's a big one, and we will a lot of times haul a lot.
We
of
look like
gear.
the Clampets
Because
going down a river.
we want all the comforts of home,
Yes.
plus a full kitchen in the middle of no blessed where.
Yep.
So we've got to have enough capacity to haul all that stuff.
All right, folks, thanks for tuning in for this episode of Pine Thicket Philosophies. Tune in next time as we continue to live by our motto, even bad adventures make great stories.